days, right? Well, I started this with Thanksgiving, a song of Thanksgiving for the Creator, because to me, that's how you have a land acknowledgement. First of all, you acknowledge the Creator who made these lands and who it all belongs to in the first place. The second song that I sang was a song from Exit, and it's a song about resilience, that we shall remain. You know, we're still here. But I think it's also important when they talk about land acknowledgement, you know, they say we're on the ancestral lands of so and so. But you know what they don't tell you in that land acknowledgement? They don't attach to it what I think is very essential, and that's a blood acknowledgement. That's how they acquired those lands from us. And that didn't happen in any case without bloodshed. Right here, this community we call Santa Fe, New Mexico, to Tewa people, we know this as Agapoge Owinge. Very closely related to the village of Tetsuke Owinge, just down the hill, Tetsuke. They say that Santa Fe was established in the year 1610, past the bologna, or past the bread, the bologna is already here, right? Because Santa Fe wasn't established in 1610. Santa Fe was stolen in 1610, prior to Agapoge Owinge. Between the years of 1598 and 1680, our people lived under the inquisitional rule of Spain. And in the year of 1680, there was a public hanging over here on Santa Fe Plaza. You know, I mean, we're erecting monuments to this and that, but you know what we don't acknowledge is the blood that was shed right there on Santa Fe Plaza. And in 1675, they hung Pueblo medicine men there on the plaza, and they whipped others. And one of those that was whipped that day was a man from Oke Owinge by the name of Pope. After that experience, he moved himself up to the most northern of the Pueblo villages, to a Tiwa village called Taos, New Mexico. And there, in our understanding, he received a message from Poseyemo. He received a message from the Creator about how we were to overthrow our oppressors. Now understand this, that in the 1600s here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, northern Arizona, it was illegal for a Native American to own a horse. Not only was our religion outlawed, but also we were held as second-class citizens in our own land. It was illegal for us to own a horse, so news of this revolt was carried by relay runners all the way from Taos, New Mexico, every village in between Taos and Santa Fe, then south of us to Albuquerque area, even south of that, because there were the Piro and Tampiro Pueblos that no longer exist among us, but they did then. Then to the west, Acoma Pueblo, to Zuni, then across the state line out to the Hopi villages. A little 500-mile jog, you know what I mean? But they carried knotted cords, and they gave one of these cords to the war chief of every village with the instructions that they should untie a knot as the sun rose every day. Simultaneously, in the summer of 1680, every village in northern New Mexico, northern Arizona, at the dawn of each day would untie a knot, all the strings having the same number of knots in them. And finally, on the last day, when they untied the last knot, that was the signal to revolt. Two of the runners from Tetsuke Owinge were intercepted, and they were hung again out here on Santa Fe Plaza. When they questioned them, why are you carrying these cords? They told them truthfully, because we're revolting. We're going to throw off because the Creator has already told us it's ordained. They hung them there, and another group of runners was dispatched not to postpone the revolt, not to cancel the revolt, but to move it forward. So most people in America celebrate July the 4th of 1776 as their quote-unquote Independence Day. But out here, we celebrate August 10th of 1680, 100 years before the American Revolution, before there was even a Washington, D.C. in existence. Our people fought for this land. And in that war of 1680, and I'll say this with all humility, because so many indigenous people have been uprooted from their lands, have been sent away from their lush areas out to reservations, barren reservations in Oklahoma, etc. Today, the Pueblo and nations of New Mexico and Arizona live in the exact same places that we were occupying at time of contact. We've never been replaced. We've never been removed. And it goes back to that war of 1680, where we became the only group of Native American people, and I say this with all humility, to oust an established European colony from our homeland. August 10th of 1680 was a full moon. The morning star was in transition from morning star to evening star on that day. For the next 4 days of light, these long nights with lots of moonlight, man, there was a war. Actually, it lasted a little bit more than that, maybe about a couple of weeks or so. This is a song about the Pueblo Revolt. This is a song called Freedom Song. It was 1598 when Oñate came to establish claims for God and crown. With hundreds of fighting men under his command, he proclaimed himself protector of the realm. They mutilated men, they enslaved our children, they burnt our homes to the ground. They ravished our mothers and they took our brothers to build their churches and their towns. But in the midst of our persecution, our spirits rise with a freedom song. For 80 years and more, we endured their lordship and offered our service to the king. We cultivated fields and gave up the yields with the tribute we were forced to bring. Our desecrated shrines left our tortured lives with broken hearts and weary minds. We knew something must be done, and we turned to one who saw dawning through the dreary night. Yeah, yeah. And as we prayed for a new solution, our spirits rise with a freedom song. Yes, in the midst of our persecution, yeah, yeah, our spirits rise with a freedom song. Baikina peri hebo wepe anshari naimbe woatse enu baikina peri hebo wepe anshari naimbe woatse enu Bobe was the one who could see the sun rising over our homes again. With passion and with prayer, he sent messengers bearing news of a united rebellion. Swift runners carried words in the knotted cords that were given to the chiefs of war. We rose as one man to reclaim our land and to overthrow the oppressor. Yeah, yeah. And in the midst of our revolution, our spirits rise with the freedom song. Oge